Hi guys, tonight we're getting into the strange world of ultrasonic recording. As you can see, it's night time and we're going to start with bats. I've set up some microphones and a recorder right here. These are Micbooster Clippy Ultras and they record from 20 Hz up to 110 kilohertz. That's what it says on the website. I'm recording to a Zoom F3, which is in a bag with the settings 32-bit float, which is standard, and I'm recording at 192 kilohertz. So I'm going to walk off over there, drink my flask of tea and come back here once I see that there's loads of bats that have been passed through, and then we'll head off home and we'll have a look to see how we can make the sounds audible. Right folks, here we are back in the house, and before we go any further I want to go into something about the recording setup. The Clippy Ultras were on a stand spread apart. They went into the Zoom F3, and what I did was record each microphone in mono at a different volume setting. One is recording at a higher volume than the other. This is the first time I've recorded bats and I don't know what's the best setting. So I've done this to see whether there's any difference. Obviously we're also recording in ultrasonic and it would be handy to know if there's any difference with that as well. So here on the Zoom F3 you can see I'm recording one at 256 and the other one at 512. I've already put those recordings onto the computer and I've put them into RX11, and I've cut out a matching 20-second piece of the recording that we can work with. So let's head over to my screen. First we're going to have a look at a difference between the two recordings. This is the 256 recording, and above the 20,000 kilohertz we can see the ultrasonic sound right here. It's coming in at just over 45 if you have a look here on this side where the cursor is, and it's spreading all the way up and even beyond 70 kilohertz. Now we're going to flip to the next recording snippet. Now this one, remember, was recorded at 512 and it's much brighter. Obviously if we play this now we can't hear the bats. If we want to hear them it'll sound like this. I've downloaded a piece of software from Wildlife Acoustics called Kaleidoscope, which is here. When you open it up it looks like this. You do get instructions with it, but it's very easy to have a look at your bat recordings and to hear them, because the program itself is designed in a way for you to listen to the ultrasonic. If you remember, we've recorded in 32-bit float, but for Kaleidoscope we need a 16-bit recording. I've already exported a 16-bit from each of those separate recordings to open up in Kaleidoscope. And to do that, we simply go to File, Open, go to where your recordings are. So remember, the first recording was recorded in 256. That's the volume. Let's have a look at that. There it is, and remember the bats. That was here up around the 40 to 50. So what we can do, we can highlight these all the way up to the 70, I think it went. Highlight those, and here's a very important thing. To be able to hear the bat sounds, we have to stretch them. So we can stretch it out maybe by a tenth, or let's have a go at a 16. So it's stretched out 16 times longer, because the ultrasonic sound is so narrow, we'll be able to hear it better. So if I press play, you can hear a little sound there, 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 there. If we take this slider and go through, right, these look a bit louder. Let's play this. Okay, now we're going to open up the other one to see if there's a difference with the volume. This is the 512. They're already louder, you can see them. Let's have a listen to that. Okay, so how do we do this in Izotope RX? How do we make ultrasonic sound audible? What we need to do is drop the pitch. And if you don't know what I mean, I'll show you. If you have a look at this keyboard, if we go to the left hand side, the bass end, go to the same note, up an octave, and so on. Now if we carried on beyond the normal sound of a keyboard, we will reach sounds that we can't hear. Basically it's getting higher and higher. In effect it's similar to going into the ultrasonic range. We can't hear it, but if we can drop the octave down, gets bassier, and we will be able to hear it. So we should be able to do that in Izotope RX to these recordings. Let's go to my screen. Here we are. We're going to use the louder recording, which is here, and we need to drop these bat sounds below 20 kilohertz, so into this region. But before we do that, we're going to clean everything up to 20 kilohertz. So if you follow my cursor, we're going to get EQ right here on the right hand side, click on the high pass, take this all the way up to 20 kilohertz. I'm just going to move this aside a sec. I'm going to highlight all of this, bring that back in, press render, and there we go folks. That's pretty much cleaned that up. And now to drop the pitch, we need to go to time and pitch. So again, come over here on the right hand side, scroll down, time and pitch, click on that, box will open up, have a look in the algorithm, radius best quality, select that, pitch shift, we're going to go to minus 36, which means it should drop 3 octaves. And remember, we need to stretch otherwise we can't hear it. So if you think about it, beats per minute. If we want to stretch it, we need to reduce the beats per minute, which is over here. And we do that by using this stretch ratio. So if we went down there, we'd be increasing it. That means there's more beats per minute, so we're narrowing the sound. So we need to stretch it, so we need to go into the positive side. And I say you can go all the way up to 800. So let's use, if you want to get your precise figure, click in the box. I'm going to go 600. And I'm just going to press render. There you go, folks. This has now dropped down into the audible range. Our bat sounds are here. Let's use EQ again to clean up to 3000. So I'm going to re-highlight that. Bring in our EQ. Bring it up to about 3000. Press render. Let's clean that up a bit more. It's going to take a bit more out. Yeah, up to 3024 Hertz. Let's press render. There you go, see it's shrinking every time. I'm just going to adjust this so we can see it. Let's press play. Check out the output down here, averaging around between -40 and -30. Even up to -20 on occasion. Oh, that's a loud one. So here, this indicator here will show us our louder ones. It's to about -10. Here's an interesting section. It's going in and getting an insect. Let's hear that again. So the whole thing, we can't really hear it properly, so we're going to increase the gain. Again, come over here to the right hand side and simply click on gain. Let's increase that to 10 and then we'll see what happens. Actually, let's highlight it first. Still at 10, press render. If you notice, it's gone a bit brighter, which means it'll be louder. Let's move that. Let's have a listen to that. Okay, that's a little tester, but I think it can go louder. So if you come down here right on the bottom of the right hand side. If you go back a step, you can start again. So before the gain, we did the last EQ. Now, let's highlight the whole thing. Remember, the gain was at 10. So what we're going to do, we're going to increase that. 15, 16, render. It's all gone a bit louder. Let's move this. Let's listen to the whole thing. Keep an eye on our marker on the bottom for our gain. So this is well within the audible range, and we might notice that some of the sounds are clipping. But depending on which bit you want, you can adjust the gain to whatever you want it at. So let's have a listen to this bit where it's trying to catch an insect. Hear that as it gets faster and faster and faster. Just going to stop that and highlight that section. And bring in the gain. So it's already at 16. We're going to increase it by another 5. Let's render that. Let's go to it. Let's have a listen. And now you can basically export that and use it in whatever other DAW you want. So there, folks, we've simply made ultrasonic sound audible. You can get a much better sound out of it by playing around and cleaning up, and then you can export it and use it in other projects. Hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching. See you next time.